The SDJ-4000 is Gemini's flagship standalone player. In this video, we will go through the entire settings menu so you can customize your unit to your personal DJing preferences. For a full tutorial on all the SDJ-4000's features and functions, see video link in the description below. Press the settings button to pull up the settings menu. I will start from the top and work my way through the entire list. First is Quantize value. This determines where actions get snapped to the playback grid in Quantize mode. 1, actions are snapped to the nearest whole note or bar. Half, actions are snapped to the nearest half note. And quarter, actions are snapped to the nearest quarter note. Please note beat grids must be prepared ahead for this to function correctly. Next is auto cue level. This setting determines how much gain reduction is applied to a track when loaded to a deck. Deck lock. With deck lock on, a track cannot be loaded to a deck that already has a track playing. This helps prevent you from dropping a track into the wrong deck by mistake, accidentally killing the music playing to your audience. If you attempt to load a track to a deck that's already playing, you'll receive this message. Can't change track, deck lock is enabled. You'll need to pause the playback on the deck you would like to load to. Player number. This assigns player numbers when linking to multiple devices. Platter LEDs. This determines how the jogwheel LEDs function during playback. Yes, the platter ring illuminates except for the playhead marker, and no is the opposite. Only the playhead marker illuminates. Line fader inverse. Flips or reverses the channel fader's functionality, so up is off and down is full volume. Key play scale. Choose which scale or musical modes key play transposes to. There's major, minor, major pentatonic, blues, mixolydian, chromatic, Dorian, or Lydian. Output volume. This determines how much signal is sent to the main output. There's low, mid, or high. Default setting is high, but if you find that your output is sending too much signal and clipping your stereo, speakers, or PA's input, you may try one of the lower output settings. Additional field. Select additional parameter to sort your tracks in browse mode. Rating, comment, genre, album. Single mode. When turned off, once a track finishes, the next track in the playlist will be loaded. When turned on, when track finishes, it remains loaded to the deck. Emergency loop. This is here for insurance against dropping tracks. If you accidentally remove your USB or connection is otherwise lost, any track playing will begin looping instead of dropping the audio completely. This gives you a chance to quickly queue up and mix in your next tune without losing the momentum of your set. Strip requires shift. Setting defaults to on. When on, the scrub strip will not work for scrubbing through tracks unless you press shift at the same time. Users who use the scrub strip often may prefer to have this turned off, though when off, it may be easy to accidentally scrub ahead by mistake just by touching your scrub strip. Vinyl adjust and vinyl adjust amount. These determine how and how fast the audio playback starts and stops when in vinyl mode. Next, we will discuss the deck-specific settings. These can be adjusted separately under Deck 1 settings and Deck 2 settings. Pitch range. This determines the scale of the pitch adjustment fader. The smallest range, 4, allows for a pitch range of only 4% increase or decrease, allowing for precise pitch adjustment. The largest range, 100, allows for a 100% increase or decrease in BPM, allowing for extreme speed-ups and slowdowns. Sync behavior. This determines whether to sync two decks playheads by beat or phrase. Beat is the default. Key lock. This allows you to alter the speed of playback without changing the song's pitch or musical key. Time mode. Selects how time is displayed during playback. Elapsed versus remaining. Auto cue. With this setting on, a cue point will be added to the very first beat when loaded to a deck. Sampler source. Determines where samples are stored and pulled from. You can select USB 1, USB 2, or memory for the SDJ's internal memory. The next section of settings relate to the mixer's functionality. Qmix. With this setting on, you will get a Qmix knob. The booth becomes the headphones volume, and the phone's knob becomes your Qmix, so you can hear either what's on the cue or what's coming out of the master output. Crossfader Curve. This determines how sharp or loose the crossfader behaves on a scale of 0 to 100, 0 being the sharpest, quick fade, and 100 being the loosest, a long fade. Crossfader reverse. When turned on, this reverses the crossfader, so deck A is on the right of the crossfader and deck B is on the left. This setting is preferred by some scratch DJs. Master balance. This determines how the master stereo outputs are panned. -50 would be left channel only, and plus 50 right channel only. The default setting is 0, true stereo balance. Effect preset. When turned on, Gemini's standard effect presets are loaded when selecting effects in the master effects section. With the setting off, you will start from scratch to create your own effect settings. Next are the USB storage settings. This allows you to load, save, and recall settings saved to a USB stick. This allows you to customize your settings and save them for easy recall. And lastly, we have the system settings. Time allows you to adjust the SDJ-4000's internal clock, and date allows you to adjust the SDJ's date. Reset to default, this will restore the machine to the factory settings. Update device, this allows for firmware updates. Update files and instructions can be found on geminisound.com. And then firmware version, this shows which version you currently have running on the SDJ-4000. That's it. You can now customize your SDJ-4000 to suit your personal taste. If you already have the SDJ-4000, let us know how you like it. If you still haven't purchased, what are you waiting for? This standalone unit puts all the controls a DJ needs at your fingertips without the need for a laptop. You will not be disappointed. Grab yours today.